like dogs better than people, and so
I know that feeling.
I got my very first Great Dane from a breeder, and she only lived to be 5, and it was medical problems the whole time. So I thought,
That's sad.
if this is going to be the case, I'll just do the last couple of years instead of the first.
How old is he?
We think about 8, which is a good run for a Great Dane. But my last one lived to be 12. So
That was good.
yeah, if you spoil them enough, they tend to last a little longer. And that's his brother out there on the dashboard.
Oh, that's sweet.
And he definitely won't stay on stage.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Steve's Guitars. We are coming to you live from Carbondale, Colorado on a smoked-in evening. Something's burning somewhere, and it's affecting us here, but music is our savior, so that's a good thing. Before we get rolling tonight, we need to send some shout-outs and some acknowledgments and thank yous. We want to thank PM Consulting Limited up in Aspen. They're our primary web sponsor. We would not be live streaming without their assistance. Want to send a shout out to First Bank, a shout out to GrassRoots Community Networks, the nation's first and oldest community access station. They're up in Aspen. They host our streams. Wouldn't be doing this without them. We want to send a shout out to the Standiford clan for having this amazing space. And lastly, but never leastly, a shout out to all of you who have chosen to spend your hard-earned money and your precious time here supporting live music. Whether you're with us or on web, thanks for doing it. It's a noble cause. It's a good thing to do. You'll feel better about it. Tonight, we would like to offer you Aaron LaCombe.
Every morning starts the same round here. I get up before the sun appears and start the coffee maker up, pour some in my favorite cup and drink it as I'm headed out the door. The cupboard's full of mugs that work just fine. They're all clean and ready, but they just ain't mine. The faded logo all but gone, the handle barely holding on. The place I got it ain't around no more. People keep their things all brand new and flawless, but I've never been that cautious anyway. If it works, it's good enough for me. I'm bound to let it be for today. Perfect never lasts. As long as you are hoping all my favorite things are a little bit broken. My old truck has seen its better days. It gets 8 miles to the gallon on the highway. The horn stopped working years ago and the AC won't blow cold. It burns about a quart of oil a week. All my friends are driving brand new rigs with heated leather seats and all those fancy things. But mine is like a trusted friend. I couldn't bear to trade her in. She always gets me where I need to be. People keep their things all brand new and flawless, but I've never been that cautious anyway. If it works, it's good enough for me. I'm bound to let it be for today. This perfect never lasts. As long as you are hoping all my favorite things are a little bit broken. You pick your friends, but not your family. None of mine are perfect, they're all right by me. 'Cause perfect people always seem to suck, if you know what I mean. They're always going on about themselves. I'd rather spend my time with real folks who drink a bit too much and tell dirty jokes, who've made mistakes and lived to tell, been in fights and gone through hell, and aren't afraid to ask a friend for help. People keep themselves all brand new and flawless. I've never been that cautious anyway. If it works, it's good enough for me. I'm bound to let it be for today. 'Cause perfect never lasts, as long as you are hoping all my favorite people are a little bit broken, a little bit broken. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight. This is my first time here, not only here at Steve's, but in Carbondale. I never even knew where Carbondale was. As a matter of fact, yesterday I didn't know where Carbondale was. I woke up in Estes Park this morning and typed into Google, and I go, I better get on the road. But I'm glad to be here. I have the next 2 days off, and then I'm in Clayton, New Mexico, back to the land of green chili. I attempted Mexican food in Colorado at a place in Ignacio last week. I probably won't do that again for a while. It's a song about getting old. Broken road will take its toll the longer you drive down it. I ain't leaving this broken road, I only just now found it. There's folks out there without a scratch, just as shiny as they could be. If you're interested, I come as is, got some city miles on me. I don't mind the highway kind, long and straight and wide. Country folks with their country roads, they'll take you on the nicest ride. Where I'm from got potholes, son, just as far as the eye can see. If you're wondering how I got this way, I got some city miles on me. Broken road sure left its mark on me. Lots of stops and lots of starts, broken bones and broken hearts, and all my parts are out of warranty. Joints creaking, oil leaking, and I ain't hard to catch. But get me in the sunshine, I still look alright, I guess. I've got my share of dents and rust in places that you can't see. I'll get you where you're going, but I got some city miles on me. Get you where you're going, but I got some city miles on me. Thank you very much.
Did you write that?
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
I wrote all these.
Good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Anybody know who Todd Snyder was? Well, I knew you would. Todd Snyder was this old hippie songwriter, and he wrote these songs that the first time you heard him, you would go, oh, okay, yeah, that dude smokes a lot of weed, and he writes these cool little songs. But the second time you heard him and the third time you heard him, you would find these little profound bits of stuff in there just about the deepest things in life that you didn't hear the first time. And there were just layers and layers of stuff to his songs, and he passed away in November. And I, started digging into listening to a lot more of him after he passed, like you do. And he has a song, and there's a line in this song that's just, to him, it's just a throwaway song. It's not a part of line. It's not a part of the chorus or anything. He says something about sleeping through a dream come true. And that little line meant so much to me. And, he's such a great songwriter that it didn't even have to be the whole song. It's just a bit. But I thought it deserved to be its own song. So this is Sleeping Through a Dream Come True. I wake up in the middle of the night and toss and turn till daylight with something on my mind, counting all the dark sheep in my life and ignoring the light. I remember lying in my bed when I was just a young boy, wishing that I had all the things I take for granted now. And I wonder how I'm sleeping through a dream come true. I don't know how I got so lucky or how I managed to stay blue. I got everything I dreamed of, somehow I got you too. But I'm sleeping through a dream come true. The sun comes through the curtains in our room. It falls upon your face as I rush out the door too soon. I don't know what I'm after, but it's true. It don't compare to you. Told you that I love you more each day, but it's easy to forget when life keeps getting in the way. You're everything I dreamed of all this time. You're finally mine, but I'm sleeping through a dream come true. I don't know how I got so lucky or how I managed to stay blue. I got everything I dreamed of, and somehow I got you too. But I'm sleeping through a dream come true. I remember wishing on a star. One day I'd sing my songs and folks would listen, and here you are. If I was 8 years old and saw me now, I think I had it all. But I feel so small, I'm sleeping through a dream come true. I don't know how I got so lucky or how I managed to stay blue. I got everything I dreamed of, somehow I got you too. But I'm sleeping through a dream come true. I'm sleeping through a dream come true. Thank you. Well, do y'all live here or are you on vacation?
We live here.
Oh, cool. How lucky are you? And y'all?
We live here.
You live here too? Very cool.
Where are you from?
I live in Kerrville, Texas. I was raised outside of Detroit, but live in Kerrville now.
Where's that?
It's where that big flood was last July 4th. Kind of between San Antonio and Austin. It's a pretty little town. Well, not so little anymore, but The Guadalupe River runs right through there, famously. Well, I know none of y'all have seen me play before, but if you had, you'd know that's as long as I can go without playing a sad song. But I'm starting you off with an entry-level sad song. This one will ease you in. It happens enough that people actually cry at my shows that I had these bandanas made. I forgot to put any out, but they say I cried at the Aaron LaCombe show. And if you actually do cry, you get $5 off. And you think I'm joking, but it happens every single show. I played, where was I? In Ignacio a couple weeks ago at an outdoor winery. There's about 120 people there. And I had 3 criers that night. You know how hard it is to make people cry at an outdoor venue? Zeke was there, but he was in the van. This is actually his first show that he's been on stage with me. Like I say, the dog I had before him was at every show, but Zeke has heretofore not shown the calmness to be able to pull it off. Yep. I intentionally wore him out today, but then also the last time I tried it, it was a pretty packed house, and he is an attention seeker. So his foster, when I went to pick him up, told me that he was an aggressive cuddler. And he absolutely is.
Zeke looks like a Greek god.
He does look pretty good up here. I think if he will figure out that he could do this, if he would just behave, then. The other thing is sometimes there's food at places where I play, and that's not going to work because he will just take it. Yep. So this next song I wrote with a girl named Allie Colleen. She lives outside of Nashville, and I was on my way up to go write with her a bunch of years ago, and she's a little farther along in her country music career, and whoever is the underdog as far as that goes, it's their responsibility to show up with something to write about. You know, you have to have an idea. You can't show up empty-handed. So I was getting kind of nervous. It was that morning, and I didn't have anything yet, and I figured, okay, first thing we got to do is figure out, is this going to be a sad song or a happy song? So I got there and I asked her if she was light or heavy-hearted that day, and that phrase turned into the first couple lines of this little sad song we wrote on a gloomy day in Nashville. Let's get the conversation started. Are you light or heavy-hearted today, my friend? As I was thinking, if you got it, a little light in your back pocket that you could lend, it just might help me start turning the pages of the changes in my heart. But I'm a little down today, and I can't say that I know exactly why. If you got some love you can send my way, it might put me on the road to being fine. But today I'm not okay, and that's okay. There are times I need reminded that it's not me who decided how I feel, and it's never what you plan. Not even the dealer knows his hand before the deal. Life's just a chance you have to take, and I got a little overwhelmed by what's at stake. And I can't say that I know exactly why. If you got some love you can send my way, it might put me on the road to being fine. But today I'm not okay, and that's okay. Oh, oh, I'm a little down today, and I can't say that I know exactly why. If you got some love you send my way, it might put me on the road to being fine. But today I'm not okay, and that's okay. Thank you. Check out Allie Colleen if you get a chance. She was kind enough to record that as a duet on my most recent album, which I have up here on vinyl and CD. 2 ways of listening to music that nobody probably has access to.
Would you reserve one of your vinyls for me, please? Thank you.
I have more vinyls than there are people in this room right now. So you're safe.
Do you always listen to vinyl? Yeah, I'm totally spoiled.
Heck yeah, good for you.
I did it to myself.
I was telling him I was lucky enough before it got all kind of in style again. A lady was cleaning out a storage area, and I got like 300 great like 70s and 80s rock and country records for $100 or something like that.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. And then it spiraled from there.
Yeah, it's addictive.
Yep. So this next song is about a force in the universe that I've been investigating, doing some research on, and it's a force that, like, if you ever get a hold of a little bit of money that you don't think anybody knows about it, for us dudes, it's probably like you sold something on Facebook Marketplace or something, and your wife doesn't know about it, and you got like $200, and you tuck it maybe like between your phone and your phone case, and you're like, I'm gonna do something cool with this. The universe knows about that money, and it's gonna send somebody to take it from you. And I don't know what the name of the force is yet, but I'm working on it. But this song is about that phenomenon. It's called As Soon As I Make It. I met a man down at the Home Depot there. Said he had some work I could do. You know, money was scarce. And I said, sure, man. I got nothing else going on today. So he had me gather stuff up from around the yard and dig a couple post holes. It wasn't all that hard. He gave me $200. And I went on my way. I was whistling a tune, driving back to my place. When the lights come on behind me and I put on my brakes, the cop said, speeding in a school zone, that'll cost you $2.85. As soon as I make it, somebody come along and take it. Seems like money don't spend no time in my pocket at all. As soon as I got it, somebody come along and want it. And when it goes, where it goes, I can never recall. Well, it had been about a while since I had steady work, but a friend of mine said one of his guys down at the shop got hurt and maybe I could fill in while he was on the mend. So I went there 9 hours a day for 6 days a week. Till that old boy got back up on his feet and my buddy gave me a big old stack of hundreds. And I said, thank you, friend. But I woke up that night to the god-awful sound of my dog choking. You'll never guess what they found. The vet said, sure, we can get that sock out for about 2,000 bucks. As soon as I make it, somebody come along and take it. Seems like money don't spend no time in my pocket at all. As soon as I got it, somebody come along and want it. And when it goes, where it goes, I can never recall. They say some folks got more money than sense, but they can't say that about me. I don't have much, but in my defense, I got good times as far as the eye can see. Well, I know there's a lesson here in all of this mess. A lot of my friends think it's worth all the stress to stack up a little extra in case something comes due. But I've been broken what some would call rich, and I know it's cliche to say that a man's happiness is more about who he's got than what he's got, but that shit is true. So I watch it come and I watch it go. Try not to worry about neither no more, 'cause when it comes down to it, it ain't really up to me. As soon as I make it, somebody come along and take it. Seems like money don't spend no time in my pocket at all. As soon as I got it, somebody come along and want it. When it goes, where it goes, I can never recall. When it goes, and it always goes, I'm telling y'all. Thank you. I'm going to do a rare love song for you. I don't do a lot of them, but every once in a while I'll do one. Maybe. Maybe if you're missing someone real good, this one might. This is not designed to make you cry, though. I have songs that are designed to make you cry. We'll get there. This song I wrote during the pandemic. I was actually up here touring in Colorado when it sort of took hold. My girlfriend was with me, and she's a wedding planner, and I do this, and so we were naturally pretty panicked when all this started happening, and we went home, and one night I remember the governor of Texas. Few and far between are the good things he's done as far as I'm concerned, but he did in one of the first weeks of the pandemic. He decided that you could get carry-out alcohol through the drive-thru, and so we went to the local Mexican restaurant. We got some fajitas and 2 32-ounce frozen margaritas, and we went home. We listened to Jerry Jeff Walker records and got absolutely shit-housed on frozen margaritas. And the next day we woke up with a plan. And we made it through, man. It was difficult. We had to do different things that we weren't used to. But, you make your dreams, you make your plans, and you sort of hope they come true in a straight line, and they just never, ever do. You kids remember that. The song is called Dream Along With Me. She closes her eyes. She sees a house along the Guadalupe River with 2 chairs in the grass out by the fire. And when I close my eyes, I'm sitting right there with her. The family gathered around at supper time at a table long enough to feed an army. Sundays with the grandkids to ourselves. We ain't ever gonna give them back now, are we? Our dreams may be far-fetched, or farther down the road than we'd like them. be. What good is a dream that's right in front of us to see? She says, honey, I know better than to think anything in this whole world's a guarantee. I just need for you to dream along with me. There's been days lately when the things we want grew farther in the distance. In fact, it seems like most of the last year, anything we tried met up with some resistance. Work is only getting harder. We might only have the strength to say goodnight. I'll be at that house along the river, by your side in my sleep till morning light. Our dreams may be far-fetched or farther down the road than we'd like them to be. What good is a dream that's right in front of us to see? She says, honey, I know better than to think anything in this whole world's a guarantee. I just need for you to dream along with me. Every bump along the road to wherever we may go will make the getting there the sweeter in the end. If all our hopes and all our plans slip like water through our hands, we'll pick it up and put the whole thing back together again. Our dreams may be far-fetched or farther down the road than we'd like them to be. What good is a dream that's right in front of us to see? She says, honey, I know better than to think anything in this whole world's a guarantee. I just need for you to dream along with me. I just need for you to dream along with me. Thank you very much. Zeke's looking at me like he wants to hear a dog song, so we'll do it. I do a little bit of animal rescue advocacy sort of stuff back home. I work with a couple of different agencies back there. There's one called Kerrville Pets Alive that they did a lot of work with all the animals that were hurt or lost in the flood last year. And on July 3rd, they're going to do a little remembrance ceremony for all that. And I get to play this song, and hopefully I can get through it, because there's going to be a bunch of sad people there. I'm used to causing the sadness. I'm not used to it being caused upon me. But one of those organizations has been after me to write a song about dog adoption for a little while, and shortly after I got Zeke here, I took him we have this cool little dog park bar in town, and I took him in there, and a buddy of mine, actually the guy who makes these guitars for me, he said, he looked at Zeke and he said, well, you've had your last bad day, haven't you? And so I wrote this song thinking about that. I heard you got off to a rough old start. Somebody went and broke your heart. They didn't know what you had, they just didn't treat you right. They Tell me it got worse from there. You ended up all lonely and scared. And at one point they say you nearly gave up the fight. You can't talk about what you've been through, but I can see on your face you could use a friend or two. But you've had your last bad day. If I got anything to say, we'll be making up for lost time from here on in. If anybody comes a bothering you, they're gonna wish they hadn't bothered, and that's the truth. I won't ever let a soul harm a hair on your little chin. You've had your last bad day, and that's a promise to you, my friend. I got a little extra room at my place, and on the couch I reckon there's some space. If you need anything, you just make yourself at home. A while back I had a friend like you, and I've been missing her to tell the truth. Well, life's a rough old thing to be going through alone. I'll make you dinner and we'll talk when you're feeling down. And maybe you can keep an eye on the place when I'm not around. But you've had your last bad day. If I got anything to say, we'll be making up for lost time from here on in. If anybody comes a bothering you, they're gonna wish they hadn't bothered, and that's the truth. I won't ever let a soul harm a hair on your little chin. You've had your last bad day, and that's a promise to you, my friend. And I know it'll be a while before you can trust me after all that you've endured. But I do my best not to make another mess of that broken heart of yours. But you've had your last bad day. If I got anything to say, well, we'll be making up for lost time from here on in. If anybody comes to bother you, they're gonna wish they hadn't bothered, and that's the truth. I won't ever let a soul harm a hair on your little chin. You've had your last bad day, and that's a promise to you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Do Great Danes, they're super loyal, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it hard to adopt them? Like, does it take
No. Generally, when I get a hold of them, they've been treated poorly, and so it doesn't take long at all. And especially, they're really people dogs, and they're kind of all the same. Like, they act very similarly. And so while I usually only get a few years with them, you kind of pick up where you left off with the last one. And yeah, they're very. This is as far as he ever likes to be from me. Yeah. And if he were out in that van right now, he'd be barking. I promise you. Okay, we're going to try out a real sad song on you now. Get that toe in a little deeper. Does anybody know who the band Wilco is? So I've been really enjoying asking that question on this tour, because some shows the median age has been 23, and some shows it's been 72. And you can really tell a lot about what age people are by if they know who Wilco is. But I went to a Wilco show about 8 years ago, and we're about halfway through the show, and they started a song. And about 3-4 measures into the song, singer Jeff puts his hand up and stops the band. And it's kind of quiet for a minute, and I can see him fussing with his earpiece. And all of a sudden he comes up to the microphone. He says, "Folks, I'm sorry, I have some terrible news. Tom Petty has just passed away." And while that was terrible news, it was really kind of beautiful to be in an environment with 3,000 other music fans and sort of processing that information at a Wilco show. It was kind of a beautiful thing. And I've been thinking of a way to wedge that into a song for a little while now, and finally managed. I guess it was Waylon, the first one that hit me so hard. I can still hear his voice through the speakers in my father's car. When cash went the next year, that's half of the highwaymen gone. And each day since Chris left, I pray we don't lose that last one. But the older I get, the more of my heroes are dying. You look up one day, and there's no one worth looking up to. I comfort myself with the songs that they leave behind them, and wonder just how many more I can stand to lose. I think of Merle most days, but especially his birthday, it seems. He left on the same day he came and lived each in between. Bowie didn't leave him as cowboy as anyone could. He said nothing to no one, put out a record, and then checked out for good. My heroes have always been cowboys one way or another. The thing about cowboys, they don't always last a long time. They sing songs about dying as if to prepare for their leaving. But there weren't enough songs in the world to prepare for the loss of John Prine. I was at a Wilco show when Tweety put up his right hand. The music stopped and time along with it as we stared at the band. He said, I've got news that nobody here's gonna love. Tom Petty's gone to that field of wildflowers above. And the older I get, the more of my heroes are dying. You look up one day, and there's no one worth looking up to. I comfort myself with the songs that they leave behind them, and wonder just how many more I can stand to lose. I wonder just how many more we can stand to lose. Thank you. He got sick of not being pet. It happens.
Oh, he gave me a kiss.
He does that. This next song's been on a bit of a journey. I wrote it 2 dogs ago, which is how I measure time these days. Me and my old boy Potter were out on the road for a couple weeks, and when we got back home, it was definitely time to wash the sheets and blankets in that van. And so I put them in the washer, and when they got out, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I hung them out on the line instead of putting them in the dryer, and the next time I slept on them, they smelled so damn good, I woke up and wrote a song about laundry. And so it was kind of a, I don't know, cutesy little song. I didn't think I'd do much with it, but I was recording an album a few months later, and we needed another song, so I played that one for the producer, and he loved it. Not only did we record it, it ended up being the first single off the record, and it did okay in Texas. It got up to like number 52 on the radio, but in Italy, for reasons I cannot explain to you, it stayed in the top 10 for like 2 months. And One day I got a message from a lady in Italy who said she taught English to Italian people using song lyrics and wanted to know could she use the lyrics to the laundry song. So I said, of course, and I sent her the lyrics, and she sent me this whole lesson plan she'd made up for it. And I didn't hear much from her for a while. And 2 months later, she sent me a video of 456 people line dancing in unison to the laundry song in Rome. And of course, I was like, okay, how did this happen? And she had a friend who was a choreographer of this line dancing festival, and she said, he just really liked your song. And at the time, it was the world record number of people line dancing in unison. So I put the video online, of course, and it went nuts. It got like 2 million views in a week, and made it by far the most popular thing I've ever done. And it's a silly little song, but here it goes. I was walking home from church on Sunday, and something sent me reeling back in time. It wasn't what I heard or seen, but something smelled so fresh and clean. It was something hanging laundry on the line. That got me thinking back when I was younger. I don't know how my mother found the time. She always kept us clothed and fed, and Saturday she'd make the beds with sheets and blankets hanging on the line. Laundry that's been hanging on the line. There ain't nothing in this world that smells as fine. That machine's alright, it's understood, but nothing makes you feel so good as laundry that's been hanging on the line. Even in the winter down in Texas, a sunny day ain't all that hard to find. So if it's not a rainy mess, my girl puts on a pretty dress and hangs all of our laundry on the line. Laundry that's been hanging on the line. There ain't nothing in this world that smells as fine. I know we don't all have the space, but the world would be a better place if we all hung our laundry on the line. Now you know me, I'm not the kind that's always telling others what to do. It's only a suggestion, a minor predilection. Don't do it for me, do it for you. I got a friend who lives in New York City. He calls me on the phone from time to time. He says no one's got a yard up there and people steal your underwear, so he don't hang his laundry on the line. Laundry that's been hanging on the line. There ain't nothing in this world that smells as fine. Some people stop to smell the roses, but from my particular nose, it's laundry that's been hanging on the line. I always hang my laundry on the line. Why don't you hang your laundry on the line? Thank you. I always forget I got to grab a real big breath before that last note when I'm up here in the mountains, because you run out of juice pretty quick there. I think that lady who teaches English to people is doing pretty well, because if you watch that video online, when I say the word underwear, all 456 people go, woo! So they know that word at least. This next one I wrote back in my restaurant days, or after my restaurant days. I was in the restaurant business my whole life, and up till a certain point when it drove me crazy. And sometimes we write these songs, we don't exactly know what they're about at the time, but this one, it occurred to me after I wrote it. It was kind of about just if you go down the wrong road too long, it can feel like it's not worth going back and starting over, but I assure you it is 100% worth going back and starting over. Every time I've done it in my life, it's worked out to my advantage. I got all this time to think, but I'm getting nowhere. My mind's a blank. I thought I only needed space. Take a moment and pump the brakes. But it turns out there's a little more to me that needs working on to some degree. It's weight that I've been carrying around, and things I thought I buried so I wouldn't have to see pile up underfoot. I've found I'm breaking ground. It's been so long since I stood still, afraid to start again, push that rock uphill. But there's no rest up at the top, it's just a hamster wheel, you gotta know to stop. But it turns out you can say screw it all, throw your hands up and walk on off. The rest of the world won't hardly come unwound. And we're all searching high and low for what makes life so unfair, looking everywhere but down. I'm breaking ground. Always thought the key to happiness was knowing when to look the other way. Years have taught me nothing sets you free like digging up the things you're scared to say. And it turns out there's a little more to me that needs working on to some degree. Weight that I've been carrying around, and things I thought I buried so I wouldn't have to see pile up underfoot. I found I'm breaking ground. Thank you. Now for something completely different. I wrote this song for a Christmas songwriting contest in Kerrville, Texas, about 8 years ago, and it came in dead last place. Since then, it's gone on to do a lot of great things. You'll hear it in a minute, but I was playing it at a house concert here in Colorado 7 years ago, maybe, after I'd wrote it. And I noticed that the host of the house concert was crying while I was playing it. And she pulled me aside after the show, and she asked me some questions about it. And I answered her, and she said, "Can I talk to you tomorrow at lunch?" And I said, sure. I went out to lunch with her, and she offered me a bunch of money. She basically asked me what I thought it would cost to make a video for that song. And I told her I made it up. I'd never made a video before. I just pulled a figure out of my head. Turns out it costs a lot more than what I told her. But she wrote me a check right then and there. We made this really cool video for it. It's called Uncle Carl, and if you type the words Uncle Carl into YouTube, I think this is still the first video that comes up. So just imagine me singing this at a songwriting contest in December in Kerrville. It will set the scene for you. table set for half of Texas. On a Christmas afternoon, there'd never been so many cousins in that tiny dining room. All us kids were down on one end, making jokes while Dad said grace. We said amen, and Uncle Carl stood up with a strange look on his face. I was just about to try the beans Aunt Cindy brought from home when Carl spilled some beans of his own. Uncle Carl came out on Christmas in front of God and all. Us kids had known forever. Dad had no clue at all. Carl's best friend who'd come to Christmas the last 4 years in a row. He said, I think it's time we let you good folks know. Raised voices were not uncommon at family dinners such as these. Global warming or Obama, Muslim refugees. But no one so much as whispered. We just sat and ate and chewed till Dad got up and took his beer to the TV room. Mom and Grandma got up next and cleared the plates without a sound. And us remaining, we said we love y'all both. And Dad'll come around. And one by one we filled the TV room, spilling out into the hall. The Cowboys lost, of course, which didn't help at all. Uncle Carl came out on Christmas in front of God and all. Us kids had known forever, but Dad had no clue at all. Carl's best friend who'd come to Christmas the last 4 years in a row. He said to Carl, I think we'd better go. Carl had gone to get the coats from the bedroom in the back. And Mom packed up some turkey and some tin foil in a sack. I was pretty nervous because Dad was shifting in his seat. And we all drew a quick breath when he got up into his feet. And then that man who'd never hugged a soul, at least that I had ever seen, he threw his arms around his brother. A Christmas miracle indeed. And those three talked another hour out in the cul-de-sac. Carl, my dad, and my new Uncle Jack. Uncle Carl came out on Christmas in front of God and all. Us kids had known forever, and Dad had no clue at all. Carl's best friend who'd come to Christmas the last 4 years in a row. He said, I can't believe y'all didn't know. Merry Christmas, y'all. It's worth it. It very much is. I told the director I wanted the opening of it to look like the opening of that TV show Roseanne. Do you remember? They're all kind of gathering around the table and the cameras circling around. You get to see my old dog Potter in there too. I wouldn't turn down a beverage. Thank you, sir. I really do love this venue. The beer and the sound. Oh, wow. That's cool. Back when it was a music shop, I guess?
No, I think it was Steve Guitars, but he rented it out. Maybe.
Oh, right on. That's cool. Do y'all still play piano? No. That's the way it goes. One day you'll be cursing yourself, I promise you. That's the way it goes, though. Piano is the key to everything. I wish I had learned piano first. Thank you.
So, what are all these guitars worth?
This one bejeweled one back here, I can't imagine. I bet it's worth tens of dollars. But it's pretty. Somebody put a lot of time into it. And it's no longer functional as a guitar. I'm going to play for you now my mother's least favorite song that I've ever written. It's about growing up back outside of Detroit in the 70s and 80s. And whenever I try to explain to younger people what it was like growing up back then, I tell them to Google what a child's car seat looked like in 1975. And that will tell you a lot. Because it was just basically a couple of metal tubes and a pad. There were no belts involved, no nothing. It was more to improve the baby's view of the road than anything. But I don't think my mom understands what a statute of limitations is, so she probably feels obligated or liable for some of this stuff still, but she's probably in the clear. A suburb of a city that certainly had known better days. The factories no more made those Chevrolets and Fords. They shipped those jobs a million miles away. But out here where the streetlights were all working, both my mom and dad were working too. Didn't have it all, but I now shudder to recall the things I took for granted before I knew. I'd get home from school about 2:30 and have until about 6 all on my own. Mom would get home first, pull a few bucks from her purse, send me for a 6-pack with a note. I set out on my bike without a helmet, and no one wondered if I'd make it home. I never did get hit on that old rusted piece of shit, dodging cars to cross the busy road. 'Cause no one thought of dying in the 80s. No one paid us kids much mind at all. We'd roam the time away, check in twice a day, come home when we heard our mother call. The rules were so much different in the 80s. We just did our best to get along. We weren't trying to be rebellious. There just wasn't anyone to tell us that we were doing it all wrong. I remember riding in the backseat. We loaded in for ice cream Friday night. My dad took the turn, I just rolled out on the curb. They stopped to let me catch up at the light. The summer I turned 6 years old was special. I learned to drive a car when school was out. Mom would read the map, I'd sit on my father's lap, waving to the cops along the route. 'Cause no one thought of dying in the 80s. No one paid us kids much mind at all. We'd roam the time away, check in twice a day, and come home when we heard our mother call. The rules were so much different in the 80s. We just did our best to get along. We weren't trying to be rebellious. There just wasn't anyone to tell us that we were doing it all wrong. Well, Well, times have changed in 1,000 different ways since we were playing in the yard, fireflies in mason jars, on the roof looking at stars. We all felt safe. I'd give everything I've learned since then to go back to those days. Well, no one thought of dying in the 80s. No one paid us kids much mind at all. We'd roam the time away, check in twice a day, and come home when we heard our mother call. The rules were so much different in the 80s. We just did our best to get along. We weren't trying to be rebellious. There just wasn't anyone to tell us that we were doing it all wrong. Thank you. All of the stories in that song are dead true, except for my mom didn't send me out for beer. She sent me for smokes. Write a little note and send me in. In Michigan, we have these things called party stores, which is like everything you need for a party, but no gas. And they'd send me in there with a note. You coming back up, buddy? Come on. There you go. Those old bones moving. I've noticed y'all been chuckling at the little jokes in these songs, and I appreciate that, but it makes it time for a sad song. Put an end to that. Yep. Gotta make it like a wave. There's the ups and the downs. This is the second saddest song I've ever written. I'm not going to play you the saddest one.
Where's the Kleenex?
Like I say, I cried at the LaCombe show hankies are up here in this box. You just grab one. Apply the discount at checkout. This song is about my old buddy Sam, who back in my restaurant days, he showed up to work as a server, bartender, and we became real fast friends. This is up in Ruidoso, New Mexico, mountain town. He was a mountain biker and a snowboarder, and so was I, so we hung out a lot. But Sammy was what you might call an advanced partier, so about 9:30, 10 every night, we tended to go our separate ways. He was one of those dudes that never said no to nothing. He had a great time, I assume, but it was a little too fast for me. But we remained friends for a long time, but because of all his fast living, he ended up with some health problems. He needed a heart, and they wouldn't give him a heart because he needed kidneys and vice versa. And so he just kind of had to accept his fate at a certain point, and he had a real good sense of humor about it. One day he said, "Aaron, I'm going to move down to Key West. I want to learn to surf before I go." So I said, "Sure, man, do your thing." And he moved down to Key West, and it wasn't 3 months later, I got a call from a penitentiary down in Key West, and turns out he had done a little too much partying and got caught. And he was going to be there for a couple years. So, knowing what I knew about inmates from some other experiences I've had, I never personally did any time, but come on, bud. I wrote him letters because this was back before you could email a prisoner, and I knew they liked letters. So every week at my restaurant, I'd sit down and write him a letter, and he would write me back. Every single week, we'd bounce letters back and forth. And there you go, Bubba. And this went on for years, and finally, sometime in the second year, he showed up at my doorstep. Never even told me he was getting out. He showed up. He said, "Aaron, you're the only person that wrote me the whole time I was in there." He said, "If you'll hire me back, I will be the best, whatever you want me to be. I'll take trash out. I'll wait tables. I'll do whatever." And I did hire him, and he was the best bartender I ever had. He was great. But his health continued to get a little worse, and so one day he said, "I'm going to move out to North Carolina, do a little more fishing, surfing." And he was out there for a while. His health continued to deteriorate. He'd have these little heart attacks, and they put a pacemaker in him. And I don't know, he had something like 18 heart attacks in a couple of years there. One time he had one while I was on the phone with him, and he called me the next day, and he said, "If you ever have a heart attack while you have something in your hand and your pacemaker goes off, you got about a 1.5 block radius. You're gonna have to search for whatever that was, because his phone was like 4 yards over, because that pacemaker just kicks you, you know." So one day he finally calls me. He says, I'm going back to New Mexico to straighten some things out. It's getting close to the end. He said, can I come see you in Austin? I said, sure. So he pulled into Austin in his big old truck, towing his RV, and got out of his truck, gave me a big old hug, instantly had another heart attack. He's on the gurney. We were laughing and figuring out what we were going to do the next day by the time he was in the ambulance, you know. Just the kind of guy he was. But a day or two went by, and they weren't letting him go, and 3-4 days went by, and finally he called me, and that's kind of where the song picks up. It's called Fluorescent Lights. He said, I gotta tell you, brother, I've been in better shape. The doctor says I won't have long to wait. I've known it's coming for me, I all but called it here. I'm curious, but I am not afraid. I lived a life of wandering, the rules were not for me. There wasn't anything I didn't try. But in all my years of traveling, I made a lot of friends. And you're the one I called here to my side. You see, the doctor's got a plan to keep me comfortable, he says, and ease my few remaining days and nights. But I think you know me well enough to know I don't intend to die here underneath these godforsaken fluorescent lights. So get me out of here, I don't know where I'm going, heaven or the parking lot or hell. Put me on my way to where I'm going, anywhere but here is just as well. I don't have the strength left now to fight, but please don't let me die here underneath these fluorescent lights. He said, I hate to have to ask you, but I got no next of kin, at least not that I'm talking to these days. So if you've got the time to take me back to New Mexico, one last time I'd like to see her face. And they won't let me go easy, I'm tied to all this stuff. We'll tell them I just want to get some air, and we'll go out through the lobby, just wheel me through the door, put me in the truck and we'll leave the chair. Get me out of here, I don't know where I'm going, heaven or the parking lot or hell. Put me on my way to where I'm going, anywhere but here is just as well. I don't have the strength left now to fight, please don't let me die here underneath these fluorescent lights. So I did just like he asked me, and by the time they knew we'd gone, we'd hit the highway hard and headed west. And we talked a couple hours while the sun sank through the road. Finally shut my mouth and let him rest. And I drove all through the night, stopping only once for gas. Tucumcari showed itself at dawn. And we stopped the truck for breakfast at a roadside taco shack. I went to wake him up, and he was gone. Get me out of here, I don't know where I'm going, heaven or the parking lot or hell. Put me on my way to where I'm going, anywhere but here is just as well. I don't have the strength left now to fight, but Please don't let me die here underneath these fluorescent lights. Thank you. There's a funny bit to that story that I like to tell as sort of a palate cleanser. When Sammy was in the hospital for a couple of days, he called me while he was in there, and he said, Aaron, I have a medical marijuana license for North Carolina, but I don't have any way to get some here in Texas. Can you get me some? But I was raised by a nurse who told me that if I ever touched marijuana, I would die instantly. It was a pretty effective strategy. And so at the age of 40 or whenever this happened, I had never tried, let alone purchased marijuana. But I was in a band, and we had a bass player, and if you don't know, a bass player is where you get drugs if you're in a band. So I text my bass player, and he knows it's true. I text my bass player, and I said, hey, I need to get some weed for my buddy. How do I go about it? And he's like, okay, here's what you do. You text this guy. Like, don't ask him to buy drugs. Just say, are you working today? And he gave me all the instructions, and I followed him. Drove down to Austin. I met this guy and had what was surely the weirdest drug deal of this guy's life. Like, I was trying to like shake his hand and get a receipt and shit, It was very awkward. But I put it in my glove box and drove up and got Sammy, and that's where the song takes over. And so, Sammy passed, and I didn't think much about it. And I'm telling this story to this girl, another musician friend of mine, about a year later, and she goes, what'd you do with that weed? And I go, I guess it's still in my glove box. I had driven all over the country, Canada, Mexico, everywhere. This big old bag of weed in my glove box. So, if you need something smuggled, I'm your dude, I guess. We got time for just a couple more, folks. Thank you all so much for coming. Folks online, if anybody's tuned in, my mom's plumb asleep back in Michigan. Sure. It's 11:30 there. No way she's up. I'm going to sing you a song about one of my favorite feelings in the world, which is in Texas. Traveling around as much as I do, you learn how to tell a good Mexican restaurant from the outside before you ever have to go in. It's something I've perfected, and I'll let you in on some secrets. You look at the parking lot first thing, you want to see a bunch of tradesmen's trucks. You want to see plumbers, electricians, that sort of thing. Old diesel trucks, hopefully with trailers. If you start seeing like a Honda Ridgeline or Cadillac or whatever that Lincoln abomination of a truck is, that's not your place. If it passes that test and you walk in the door and you're still not sure, look at how they're listening to music. What you want to see is like a boombox sitting up on the pass-out shelf with some music that you don't understand coming out of it, and then the speaker wire creeping up behind a photo and then taped to another speaker wire and up to 2 different kinds of speakers if you can manage it. That's going to be some good Mexican food. If there's like nice Bose speakers recessed into the ceiling and they're listening to the Gypsy Kings, get the hell out of there. But this song is about one of my favorite feelings in the world, which in Texas happens to me now and then, where I go into a taco shop and I'm the only white dude in there. I'm the only English-speaking person, and you got to know some Spanish to even get your order done. It's a great feeling. I know I'm going to have some really good, delicious mystery meats, and it's something I look forward to. And I got to tell you, I'm not super excited about getting back to Texas, but y'all don't. Your taco game needs some work. I'm going to tell you straight up. So this song is called "Gringo in a Taco Shop." It started as a funny song about that feeling I get, but it's turned into my love letter to our immigrant workforce. Among all this crap, I do not like to bring politics into my music, but I will go so far as to say if somebody's working hard to make a living in this country and make me tacos on top of it, leave them the hell alone. I do not want my tacos made by some white kid named Tanner. Or a robot. I like a corner stool in a little bar about 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Texas. When all the old guys show up to drink $3 beer and talk anything but business. I like the smell of rain in the morning time when it's been a while and the grass has been dry all summer. From the front porch with a coffee cup in my hand, in fact, I think I'll have another. If there's one thing that I love, one feeling that's hard to top, it's when I'm the only gringo in a taco shop. You see, I like the kind of place where you gotta know some Spanish to even read the menu. And most white folks won't go inside. If we're being honest, they're a little scared too. If you want a spot in the parking lot at lunchtime, you'd better get there early. 'Cause all the trucks and trailers gonna fill it clean up by about 11:30. I think that busboy is 9 years old, but he works hard and he don't stop. I think I'm the only gringo in this taco shop. There's a place up the road with a big neon sign and an A+ from the health inspector. But you wouldn't catch me there on a dare, my friend. I'm going where they make the tortillas from scratch with a big old scoop of manteca. And the mild sauce ain't mild, and the hot sauce just might be your end. I like a Sunday drive in the countryside with the windows down in my old beat-up Ford. With my girl on that bench seat beside me and her feet up on the dashboard. But when we turn around and go to town, without a sound, she knows right where I'm headed. She knows I want that al pastor and onions. There's only one place I can get it. If there's one thing that I love, one feeling that's hard to top, it's when I walk through the door and see the drywall guys and the plumbers and that one old cop. 'Cause we all know where they got the best food in town. The line's wrapped around the block, and I'm the only gringo in the taco shop. Thank you. Thank you very much, folks. Couple more. I'm going to do this one. It's an old one I've kind of been bringing back because I think it's a sort of a universal feeling we've all had where you really loved someone and it just didn't work out for whatever reason, but and you still love them. It's just kind of better if you love them from a little bit of a distance, you know? I don't ever ask how you're doing. My friends don't tell me anything they've heard. I don't ever worry about who you're seeing. I just know you'll find the man that you deserve. And I do thank you from time to time and wonder if you'd still be mine if I'd said the things you wanted me to say. But if I think for long and all, the best I could have done was stall the inevitable. It was coming anyway. We both know I love you, dear. It's just better if I love you from here. Now there's a part of me that knows we did the right thing. and part of me has never let you go. If I ran into you at the grocery store, is anybody's guess which part would show? 'Cause I'll see a girl from time to time that looks like you do from behind, and my heart will fail to beat and start again. And I'll turn around because I know that if I went and said hello, it wouldn't be the same as it was then. We both know I love you, dear. It's just better if I love you from here. And the hardest thing I ever do is to keep myself from calling you. But I do it again every night. We both know I love you, dear. Can't you see I love you, dear? I know you know I love you, dear. It's just better if I love you from here. Thank you all very much. The last song of the night is going to be about my very first Great Dane named Penny. She's a cool dog. It was back when I had my restaurants, and she would come with me to work every day. And she knew everybody in town, and everybody knew her. It worked out great. She loved everybody except for these two dudes that showed up looking for a dishwasher job one day. She was barking and snarling at them, and I'd never seen her act like that before. I had to put her up, and I ended up hiring these two dudes like a moron anyways. But they worked for a couple days, and then on the third or fourth day, it was one of the busiest nights of the year. I heard the cooks yelling that they need dishes, and I go up there to see that they'd taken off and stolen everything out of the meat locker on their way out the door. And so I wrote this song to remind me to listen to my dog. There's merch here with, kind of about this song and related to, and all my critters are on all of these things. I even have recently acquired a possum back home. Little baby 2-inch possum showed up at my door about 3 months ago, and spent a few weeks feeding him puppy replacement milk with a syringe, and now he's a big old fat thing living under my deck and eating hard-boiled eggs. They're awesome. I love that little guy. The day I decided to let him go, I had him in this giant Tupperware thing on the kitchen table, which is illegal as hell in Texas, for one thing. You're not allowed to possess a possum in the state of Texas.
I thought you were going to say Tupperware was illegal in Texas.
That too. I mean, it might be by the time I get back. Who knows? But, he was just getting you could tell he was getting restless in there, so I took him out. We've got a few acres out back behind the house that the HOA owns, and I took him out there and put him on a branch, and, I said goodbye, and I was starting to get emotional. I start walking back toward the house, and he scurries down the branch and climbs up my leg. I've got this video of him climbing up my leg. I'm like, shit. I'm out there bawling like a schoolgirl. I'm sure my neighbors are wondering, because he's, this big. They couldn't see him. They just saw me crying in the woods. So I scooped him up, and I put him in our little yard, and I just cut a hole in his Tupperware thing, and I thought, well, if he wants to leave, he'll leave, and, if not, I'll feed him. So I put him out there, and 20 minutes later, I walk out the door with Zeke here, and Zeke runs over, to kind of mess with him, and he's like faced off with him, and actually did a pretty good job. And I was like, okay, this guy's gonna be okay. And he's lived under our deck ever since. He just comes out at 9:16 every night and eats grapes and eggs. But anyway, this song is not about a possum. It's about a dog. They say you ought to learn as you go. Well, one thing I surely know is that life's full of hard lessons, day after day. I don't always trust myself to pick a bad apple off a shelf, but a friend of mine can smell a rat from 50 yards away. He'll tell anyone who will listen you're exactly who you want to be. Well, I don't need any reason, 'cause my dog thinks you're an asshole, and that's good enough for me. You think you're calling all the shots, but with one sniff of the crotch, she could tell that you were up to no good. Why don't you go? There's folks that think you might be alright, but fella, I ain't got all night, and the jury's come back with the news. You got to go. You'll tell anyone who will listen you're exactly who you ought to be. I don't need any reason, 'cause my dog thinks you're an asshole, and that's good enough for me. Don't try to make sense of what it is. It's just what you are, it ain't what you did. I can't tell you what makes her tick. She calls them like she sees them, and she don't like you a bit. You'll tell anyone who will listen you're exactly who you want to be. Well, I don't need any reason, 'cause my dog thinks you're an asshole, and that's good enough for me. Thank y'all very much. I really appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Thank you. And thank you for a lovely gig and the great sound. This was really cool.
Thanks for the music. Thank you all for coming.
Well, I think